So good morning all, and today's first topic is the fish model. Okay, we'll see some more models. So fish model is the advanced version of SDLC, and fish model consists of verification and validation. We know that our first stage is what? Requirement gathering. That is nothing but the BRS. Okay, so it is starting with requirement gathering. I'll do that later. So first one is the requirement gathering. Then the next part is the analysis. As we know in SDLC, next part is the analysis. Okay. Then the next stage is the design. Okay. Then next one is the coding. After designing, there is a coding. Okay. And then next one is the testing. Wait, here it will come testing. And at last, maintenance. So fish model consists of verification and validation. So in requirement gathering, whenever who is responsible for it, the and our business analyst is responsible for the requirement gathering. Okay, so whatever requirement he has gathered and he has created the BRS document, there is a need of approval from the client side, right? And uh, as a business analyst, before converting that into the SRS document, he have to review that. Okay, he have to review that whether it is correct or not. If there is any mistake, he will correct that. So that review part is nothing but the verification. Okay, so he have to review that. One second. So we'll write here only. Okay, then in analysis part, he is responsible. Business analyst is responsible for the SRS document, and whatever SRS document he has created, he is responsible to review that. So review means verification. Okay, review by the business analyst only. Then the designer will come according to the on the basis of SRS document, whatever is the snapshots given into the SRS document. According to that, our designing team will design the screens. So they also have to review. They also have to match whether it is matching with the requirement or not. So this is also review part from the designer. Okay, then our coding team, as a unit testing, we know that they used to go through the codes. If there is any mistake, they will fix that. So they are nothing but they are doing the review part. Okay, so whatever review till now we can see here, that is the part of verification. Okay, so from here to here, this is the verification part, and it is in the fish model verification. So this is the verification, because at every stage, who is responsible for that, they have to review their part. Like business analyst, if they are creating the BRS SRS, they have to review. If there is any mistake, they have to fix that, they have to correct that. After that, the designing team, they have to go through whatever they have designed, and then they will fix that if there is any variation between the expected and the result. Okay, in coding also, if there is any mistake, as a unit testing, they will test that. So it is nothing but the review part. Then the uh, testing team will come, and whatever testing team is doing, that is called as validation. We are validating whether it is correct or not. If there is any bug, then we are raising it to the coding team, right? So who is responsible for the validation? That is the coding team. Sorry, testing team. So we are validating. So this part is the validation. Okay. So verification is also called as static testing. You have to remember this. Someone can ask you what is meant by static testing. So you have to remember verification means static testing and the validation means dynamic testing. Another name for the validation is dynamic testing. So interviewer can ask you, explain me the static testing and the dynamic testing. So that time you have to answer like static testing means nothing but the verification at different stages. Okay, and validation means it's a dynamic testing. So here we are doing quality assurance. In verification part we are doing the quality assurance and here we are doing the quality control. Okay, so in fish model main thing is the verification and validation. If someone ask you explain me the fish model how it is working, so you should not explain like the SDLC how we are explaining. Okay, like first stage is the requirement gathering, then the analysis. No, not like that. You should explain it in terms of verification and validation. What is the part of verification and the validation? Okay, like that only you have to explain. Okay, so verification is the process of quality assurance. Okay, verification is the process of, first point is the verification is the process of quality assurance. Then it is called as a static testing also, right? It is called as static testing. Okay, and what we are doing in the verification, we are it's a everyone is doing the review part. Okay, that is the main thing in the verification. So static testing is the review process, is the review process. Okay, and in requirement gathering, who is doing the review? That is the business analyst. Okay, whatever information he has gathered, that his responsibility to go through that whether the taken requirement or the information is correct or not. Okay, he have to verify that. Okay, so in the requirement gathering process, who is doing this? Analyst, the business analyst. Okay, analyze all the information from the customer and make BRS document. Okay, then BRS document, uh, on the basis of BRS document he will make the SRS document, right? That is nothing but the analysis. So on the basis of BRS document, BA will create SRS document and he will review the SRS document. Okay, then next one is the designer. Okay, so in design phase, after completion of design, UI developer is responsible for review the design or responsible for review process. Then next one is the coding. After coding is over, coder have to check all the code. He have to complete the review process, and if he found any error, then need to fix it. So all these things are coming into the verification. You have to explain like this only, not like the SDLC what exactly we are doing. Okay, so in terms of verification and validation only you have to explain. Next part is the validation. Validation process is known as quality control. Validation is also called as dynamic testing. Validation is also known as dynamic testing. So what we are doing in the dynamic testing? Dynamic testing means we are checking the quality for the product. So dynamic testing focus on the quality of product. Okay, and whole software functionality means whatever functionality we have developed. Okay, everything we are going to test as a tester in the validation part. Okay, so whole software so as we already covered here in black box testing, we are doing a system and function testing. Okay, we are checking everything. Each and every function we are testing in the black box testing. Okay, so here also we can mention or use that point. Validation include black box testing, and we know that the gray box testing is tester is also doing testing part, and he's if he found, then he is responsible to fix it. So gray box testing validation include black box testing and the gray box testing. Okay, so in this one more point is there, under the validation and the sorry, verification and the validation, that is the static testing and the dynamic testing. They can ask you specially what is meant by static testing. If you are mentioned as a verification, is also called as static testing. So under static testing, what exactly you are doing? Okay, or what all are the points you can include into the static testing? What is meant by static testing, they can ask. So whenever you are explaining only the fish model, okay, you can explain like in terms of verification and validation only. Okay, and under verification, what exactly everyone who is responsible to review like the requirement gathering, analysis, design, and the coding, it is here in every stage somebody is responsible to review that. Okay, so that is nothing but the verification. Okay, also known as static testing or the quality assurance. And next, once the coding has been done, it will come to the testing. So at testing part, we as a tester will do the dynamic testing. Okay, and it is called as a quality control. Maintenance is also come into the maintenance is not part of the validation, but you can mention like verification and validation. Okay, so fish model consists of verification and validation. Like this, you can explain. Okay, 1 second. One more point we have to cover here, that is the static testing and the dynamic testing. What is meant by static testing and the dynamic testing? Separately, you can face this question. Okay, so static testing is the verification process, also known as quality assurance. Okay, then okay, so about the static testing and the dynamic testing, the most of the points are coming from this section only, so I'll update that in the notes. Okay, very 1 or 2 points will come as a new point, so we'll not uh, waste our times. I'll just explain you and then I'll include that in the notes. Okay, so in the static testing, what we are doing, we are static testing is the verification process. Okay, it is also known as quality assurance. And then we can include the part as whenever our business analyst is gathering the information and he is creating the BRS document, then he have to review that. Okay, you have to verify that the everything is correct. Then only he should convert that into the SRS document. Okay, and in SRS document also he have to go through and review the SRS document. Okay, and after ensuring everything, then only he should release that SRS document to the development team. Okay, and then once it will come to the designing, the UI developer, the architecture will create the main modules. Okay, and after that only the low level designing will complete, the sub module will be created. Okay, so if there is any defect in the design, then our architecture or the UI developer, they are responsible to review or go through whatever they have developed. Okay, then after designing, we know that uh, our coding team will come, and their part is the unit testing. They have to go through every code, whether it is correct or not, running or not. Okay, if there is any mistake, they have to fix that. Okay, and this is about the uh, static testing. And in static testing, we are doing only the positive testing, we are not doing any negative testing. Okay, so all the review process are called as static testing. And next one is the dynamic testing. So under dynamic testing, tester is involved once the coding has been done and the it is ready for testing, then only it will come to the uh, our testing team. So in testing, we'll do we'll test everything. So system and function testing will be there. under the dynamic testing. Okay, it is also, we can say that a black box testing plus gray box testing is nothing but the validation. Okay, and in dynamic testing we are doing positive and negative testing. Okay, so in positive testing we are just entering like the expected. Okay, yeah, we are entering the correct ID, we are entering the correct password, and we are expecting that once we click on the sign in, it will go inside on the home page. Okay, but as a tester, we also have to do the negative testing as a part of dynamic testing. So in negative testing, we will try to enter the wrong ID password. Okay, so I'll leave one page here for the static and the dynamic testing, and we'll move for the next model. Our next model is the waterfall model. One second. Sorry. Processes for software development. So there are three types of software development process. Waterfall model. Then the next one is the V model, and the third one is the agile model. So you should not tell them that the software development process means fish model is also part of the software development process. No, that is only the verification and the validation. By following the fish model, we are not going to develop any project. Okay, so here, okay, I'll do that later. So see, under software development processes, there are three processes. Uh, that is the waterfall model, V model, and the agile model. So any model they can ask you, and nowadays 90% companies are following the agile model. Okay, but we can say agile model or the agile methodology same. Okay, so in waterfall model, what exactly the SDLC, how it will work, we'll see that. First of all, we'll see the waterfall model. So we are already aware about the SDLC. There are 6 stages that we know. Okay. So those 6 stages are coming. One, two, three, four, five, six. So one by one in waterfall model, every stage will come. Okay. Okay. So first we know that the requirement gathering is there. Then next stage is the analysis. Next stage is the design, then the coding, then next one is the testing, and at last it's a maintenance. Okay. So in waterfall model, first of all, is which team or who will work. That is the and our business analyst will take the requirement gathering. Till that time, all the teams are sitting idle. Nobody is working. They will wait once we receive the SRS document. Till that time, our designer, coder, tester, and the maintenance team, they are sitting idle. Okay. And waterfall model, everything will be a step by step implementation. Parallelly, nobody is working. Okay. Here, once the requirement has been taken and the SRS has been created, then it will go to the designing team, and till that time, coding team and testing maintenance, they are sitting idle. Okay. They are waiting. Once they receive the coding team, once they receive the design part, then only they will start for the coding. Once the coding has been done, then only it will go to the testing team. Okay. And the testing done, and the it is deployed to the client side, then only the maintenance team will. So in waterfall model, everything is the step by step implementation. Okay. We cannot go reverse. In case if you are at coding part and you found that there is some mistake, or the we used to say it as a defect, because we know that uh, as per the developer side, if they found any issue which is not matching with the requirement, then it is called as defect. Okay. So if they found any defect, then they cannot give it back to the designing team that fix it and then we'll rework. No. What they will leave that, and they will fix that in the next version, next release. Okay. So every stage at testing also, if we found any bug, then also we cannot expect that it will be fixed at that time only. We'll raise that, but our coding team will fix that in the next release. Before next release, they will fix that. Okay. So generally in waterfall model, this waterfall model generally it is used by the small scale company. Okay. Or we can say as a product based company. You have to remember, I'll mention these points. So waterfall model is used by the small scale company or the product based company, because in product based company we know that they are developing a particular product. Okay. Not only for the single person, and there will be no requirement change will come. Okay. They already know that everything is already fixed. Okay. They already know that what exactly they have to they want to develop. Okay. There will be no requirement change coming from the client. Okay. Product based company, that means the company is developing a particular product and everything has been already fixed. There will be no change. Okay. So that is the reason they are following the waterfall model. And generally we can see that this model is used for development in the small scale company. Okay. And if any error, uh, the designing team or the sorry in the coding team or the testing team, if any error we found as a tester, if any error or the bug we found, then it will be fixed before next release. Okay. We'll raise the bug, we'll create the bug, we'll log that, we'll forward that to our development team to fix it, but it will be fixed, and it will come for testing again in the next version. Okay, so in waterfall model you just have to remember some points, that is, in waterfall model we cannot go back into the previous stage if there is any issue or the error. Waterfall model will work step by step. Waterfall model is generally used in small scale company. Waterfall model is used in product based company. Okay, and every stage is depend on the previous stage in the waterfall model. Parallelly they cannot work. Like, we'll see in other model how these departments are working parallelly, like in V model, agile model. Okay, everyone is working parallelly, nobody is sitting idle. But in waterfall model, uh, designing team will start the work, and once they receive the SRS document from the analysis. Coding team will start the work once they receive the designing part from the UI developer. And the testing team will test only and only once they receive the uh, developed module. Okay, so at coding level, if they found anything is wrong from the designing team, they cannot go back to fix at that time itself. So they will fix that in the next release. Okay, so this is about the waterfall model. Very few companies are using this. Okay, in most of the companies nowadays, model is very popular. Everyone is using the agile model only. Okay, so today we covered only two topics, that is the fish model. Okay, in fish model, uh, you have to explain it through verification and the validation. Okay, in verification, it is the process of quality assurance. It is also called as static testing. Okay, static testing is nothing but the review process, and review by every person who is responsible for that stage. Okay, here BA is responsible for BRS, SRS review, then UI developer is responsible to review the designing part, then the coding team is responsible for review the codes. Okay, and under the validation, testing team will come. The black box tester and the gray box tester is responsible to do the testing, so it is also called as dynamic testing, and we are doing the quality control under the validation. Okay, so this is about the fish model. Then we covered about the what kind of miss there are total three types of software development processes: waterfall model, V model, and the agile model. Actually, V model will take more than 40 minutes to cover, so that is the reason we are not starting it today. So waterfall model, under waterfall model, every software development life cycle means every stage is depend on the previous stage. We cannot go back, and the step by step development will be there. And most of the times we can see that this is used in the product based company or the small scale company. If there is any bug or the error we found at the testing, then it will be fixed in the next it will be fixed in the next release. Before next release it will be fixed. At the same time we cannot expect it will be fixed. Okay, it is not fixing at the same time. Okay, so this is for this all for the today, and then we'll continue